So I'm just gonna get right to the point. I've created another AU, except this time I've put a lot more work into it, and I've decided to make it into an animatic series which will require voice actors. So I wanted to make a public announcement about it via a casting call. Just a disclaimer, it's just a passion project and nothing else. I made it just for fun, and so I could combine two things which I hold very dear to my heart. The AU is a combination of Sandersides and an old game called Guilty Party. Basic concept of this AU is that the sides are all a part of a family of famous detectives. There are a lot of characters in this, mostly side characters, so there are plenty of roles within this series. Speaking of which, let's get to those main characters. First up is the Commodore, aka Harold Dickens. He is the head of the detective agency that the sides are all in and is the oldest of the first generation, aka he's like the dad of half the cast. I imagine him to be really serious and kind of condescending. He has sort of a I'm better than everyone else mentality to him. Next up is his wife, Elizabeth Dickens. She's the only family member who isn't a detective. I imagine her as having like a fancy lady type of voice, for a lack of better words. Then there's Patton. I was hoping for his voice to have like an optimistic sort of tone to it. Out of all the characters, he's definitely the most let's realistically try to see the silver lining. For his voice, I'd like it to be that like dad voice that also sounds pretty caring. Next up is Janice. I'm hoping for a sly and kind of serious tone to him, kind of like a tone that gives off the feeling that he's got a few secrets. Next up is Roman. I want his voice to be kind of like a boastful tone, which can be very emotional and excitable at times. After him is Virgil. I imagine Virgil as kind of having a deep voice. He also needs to be able to show subtle emotion through his voice from time to time. Then there's Logan. Logan's noticeably younger than the others, so he doesn't need to have a deep voice, but I would advise to stay away from baby voices. He's still serious, and I'd like for that seriousness to show in his voice, even though his age is pretty young. Finally, there's Remus. Like Logan, he's a lot younger, and I once again would refrain from using baby voices on him. I want him to sound childish and kind of like energetic, just like hyper child energy. And that's the main cast for this project. Before the video ends, I want to mention a few things. I've linked a Google document in the description, which is the audition form, where the lines are, and the rules are located. You can audition for as many characters as you want, and I'd advise auditioning for multiple, since I'll only be considering people based on who they audition for. For example, if you only audition for Virgil, I will only be considering you for the part of Virgil. I know that school is starting for some people, and that some people may be worried about availability, so if you get a part, I'll keep that in mind. I myself am going to be a college freshman, so I completely understand that school comes first. Gender does not matter, and in no way will affect your audition. I will just be picking them based on if they sound good for the role. Finally, the due date for the auditions will be the 13th of August as of now. Please aim for then to turn in the auditions, but I'll be making the final decision on the 14th, so if it's a little late, it's okay. Just please try not to, turn it in then. With all that being said, I hope I'll be able to see your audition if you're interested in this, but if you aren't, that's okay. Thank you for watching the video anyways. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye!